What's going on, everybody? Steven Villabona, broker here for PADLAB Real Estate in Scottsdale. I just want to walk you guys through a quick tutorial today to get you up and going for the MLS. So be sure to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns regarding anything else, but this is just going to be a basic crash course tutorial just to get you going. So what you guys will learn today is just navigating through the general ARMLS dashboard. Add clients to your database, create a search for them, save that search for them, and create subscription so that they're going to get notified anytime a new listing populates into that search. So let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is go into ARMLS.flexmls.com, and this is assuming that you've already got your username and profile all set up through your association. We're actually registered through Scottsdale Association. There's 3 different associations that you can register with here in Phoenix: Scottsdale Area Association of Realtors, Phoenix Association of Realtors, and We Serve, which is the West and the East Valley. They combined a few years ago. It doesn't really matter which one you sign up with. They're all essentially the same. You're just going to be part of the Realtor Association, and then they will give you your MLS credentials from there, which you can then log in to view any of the listings. So once you get all of that, you're going to go to armls.flexmls.com, and then from there, you will use your username and password that they gave you. I have mine pre-populated here in this password saver that I use. And then once you log in, give it a second, it will bring you to the home screen here. This is what you would see every single day. Mine's a little more customized, so yours might look a little differently. I'm not going to get into customizing these kind of widgets, but you can essentially go here to this button and get different views, and then you can even customize these views and create your own views. But this is the classic view here, market stats. So you could go in here under customize on the top right here where it says customize, and you could customize these dashboards to show different zip codes or the different markets that you work in, so that you can look at this on a daily basis when you get into the MLS. But anyway, so I'm going to go back to my home dashboard. So I have just all of my saved searches here for my clients. I have a hot sheet for Scottsdale since that's where I live. These are the listings that will be displayed if you have any listings. I also have a hot sheet here for Tempe. These are my contacts. So these are all the leads that I've populated here in my system. And then it's just some more details here. So first thing that you want to do once you get into your MLS is customize, well, really any program that you're using, you want to customize your profile. So here at the top right, it should have your 2 initials there. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to view my profile. From there, you just want to go through every single one of these to make sure that it's all updated. So my name, just make sure that your name is correct in there. My documents, this is just general documents that you want to have attached to your profile. Honestly, I really don't know what you would put in here. I don't have any documents in here at this time. My phone numbers, you want to make sure that this is correct. So you want to have your mobile number attached here. And then if you have any sort of fax number, virtual fax number, or a secondary landline, for instance, just go ahead and put that in there. So just click new, and then put it in, and then hit done. And then as long as it shows up in here, you're good to go. Make sure you also have your email address in here. If you have a PADLAB dedicated email address, go ahead and put that in there. Otherwise, if you're just using a personal email, that's fine too. Make sure that you have any sort of website attached here, because this just links out to your clients and other agents, so they'll be able to just visit your website. So if you don't have a custom domain that we've set up for you with PADLAB, then go ahead and just use padlabaz.com in the meantime. Otherwise, you can put your custom domain that we set up there for you. Or you can put both. Personal photo, make sure you have your headshots right there, anywhere, and then obviously if you want to change your password. So as we continue on from there, step 2 would just be visiting the menu on the top left here. These are all the features that the MLS has to offer, kind of broken down. So this is your dashboard, any daily functions. These are additional products that come with the MLS. subscription with your association. So a lot of people like to use RPR, Realtors Property Resource, and we'll have another course on this down the road, but feel free to check that out. Transaction Desk is kind of paper management. It's where you draft up your documents and all the contracts and stuff. But if you are with PADLAB, we use a separate program called .loop. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to use .loop with us than it is Transaction Desk, because then you're using only one program versus 3 programs. So, but that's Transaction Desk there. And then you'll have, this is Add Change, is kind of where you will manage any listings that you have. So if you're representing sellers or owners of properties for rent, this is where you would add a listing. You can also change listings. What's nice too is if you've had a listing in the past and you don't want to enter all that information again, you can do a copy or even a full copy, which will copy all the information as well as pictures there, so you don't have to do the work twice. From there, down below, you have your contact management. So this is kind of like the epicenter of the MLS, along with searching for properties. You want to make sure that your contacts are in there so that you can send them listings, set them up on a auto property subscription, which is essentially, it just sends them listings anytime it hits the market. And then you'll see that there are 2 subscriptions there. Preferences, more of your preferences, and there's a lot of information and customization that you can do, so feel free to just kind of click buttons and figure things out. Search is how you're going to start searching for properties for your client. I typically use quick search on a daily basis, and I'll walk you through that here in a second. You can also search by company listings, that's by brokerage, or by an office member particularly. And then these are where you would also view your saved searches for any clients, any of the searches that you've saved for them, you'll go here. Listing collections is kind of a separate thing that we'll talk about later. Monsoon is another great resource that you have access to, and that will kind of essentially give you all the public information for a property. Say if you want to look at when it changed ownership, who the previous owners were. You can also look at what the taxes, if they've even paid their taxes. And the nice thing about Monsoon too, which I really like, is that it also shows loan information too. So you can kind of spy a little bit and see, what people owe on their loan, how much they put down, that type of thing. I think it even goes as far as showing you which lender they have the loan with. All the rest of that, so just kind of explore that. So as you can see though, in this menu, you'll see the yellow stars. If you click on the yellow star, it will show up here on your bookmark toolbar. So these are all the ones that I typically use, and so I've organized it in a way that's more logical for me. You might have something different, but look at this, and this is kind of what I use on a daily basis. So I like quick search, MLS search, contact management, because that's where all your leads are going to be. Listing collections, say if you create a search for a client, of 5 listings and you want to save them, that would essentially go into a listing collection bucket. Save searches, RPR, Monsoon, showing time, and then the rest of them, they're pretty self-explanatory. So from here, let's get out of there. So take some time, when you're on your own, and just kind of select the menu items that you want to display on here. Feel free to go ahead and do the same thing that I've done, because these are the ones, in my opinion, after 10 years that I use on a daily basis, and just go from there. So let's start by going to contact management. Let's add a client in here, and then let's create a search for them. So what we're going to do, once I click on contact management, you're going to see this. Well, you're probably not going to see anything at all, because you're probably not going to have any leads in here. So, it's probably not going to look like this. But let's add yourself first. This is an exercise that I like to do with everybody, even myself. Go ahead and add yourself as a contact. Name, your phone number, your email, and what we're going to do is set up a search for your neighborhood or any neighborhood around you that you like, and we're going to set up an automatic property subscription for yourself so that you get notified of any listings that are coming available or that are pending or that are sold in your neighborhood, so that you can start to learn about the activity around you. So you're going to start by going to the top right here where it says add contact, and we're going to go ahead and add contact. Since I'm already in here, you can see my name, Stephen Villabona, here is the second lead there. So I'm just going to I'll do Stephen Andrew, because Andrew is my middle name. Andrew. Stephen Andrew. And then from there, I usually just do the email address. So let's just do steve@padlabaz.com. And if you have two people, then you can add another email address right here. Say if you have a husband and a wife, you can go ahead and put both their email addresses there. And then the primary phone number of contact. So my phone number is there. Reverse prospecting. It's a good tool to just select. Just go ahead and select it for every one of your leads. The way that reverse prospecting works is that whenever an agent has a listing, they go to a menu item, a list, and say, I want to reverse prospect on my listing. So what that'll do, say if their listing is $500,000 in Scottsdale, it will search the MLS for any agents who have clients searches that are within that criteria. And then it'll give that agent a list of names so that they can then call those agents and say, hey, I did a reverse prospecting for my new listing. MLS is showing that you might have a client that fits that criteria. So do you or not? But anyway, so as long as you select that, it will allow MLS to look through your clients to see if anyone fits, other listings, if an agent runs that list. So just go ahead and do that. The next item down below is create a portal for this account. So a portal is kind of like, if you were to go on Zillow, Trulia, realtor.com, you can create a profile and then you can go into that profile, view your saved searches and your saved listings. So when you create a portal, it'll invite the clients to accept the portal and they can log in. The only thing that I don't like about the portal is that it doesn't allow the clients to edit the search like they would on Zillow or Trulia.com. So what you have to do is just create a search and it'll be there. Once they log into the portal, they can click on it. And then from there, if they want any changes or anything like that, then they have to ask you to change the criteria. So if they want to widen the search area or if they want to, expand the price point, then you're going to have to go do that. It's just a minor thing. So we're going to go ahead and add this contact here. And then from here, this is going to be your main contact view. So you have all the contact details here. You have the activity. So once you have them on a portal and once you're starting to send them listings, you can see all the listings that they viewed, which ones that were shared to them, and then their email activity as well, how many times they've clicked things. Searches and subscriptions is where once we start saving searches for a client, they will be attached here. And then the subscription part is going to be what MLS will actually auto email them. Portal, like we discussed right here, you can see if your client portal is on or off, and you can actually even view the portal. So right now it's invalid or the account is disabled. So if we turn it on and then view the portal, now we can kind of see how it looks like on the client side. So there's no listings right now because I don't have any searches set up for them. But once you have some searches, then you can view the portal, see how it looks like to them. You can also see right here which ones they've saved, which ones you have hidden as an agent, which ones you've recommended, and all that, or which ones they've hidden and then which ones you've hidden. So, and then right here, if they can't find the invite to the portal, you can re-invite them. So all the rest of this, to be honest with you, I never really use, but these are messages, notes, just kind of explore all that stuff. So anyway, that's how you add a new client. So let's close that and now let's start searching. So let's go back to quick search. And once you click on quick search, this is going to be the general search window with all of your filters on the left-hand side. And right now for residential, which is for sale, if you click on there, drop down will come down if you want to search for rentals, land lots, commercial or industrial for sale, multiple dwellings, anything like that. Our MLS is primarily used for residential and rental. All the rest of this stuff, sometimes agents will upload listings in here for these categories, but commercial real estate has their own MLS where they pretty much upload everything. So you might see some things on our MLS if you like select land lot. It'll say right here there's 4,700. But like for like a commercial building, for instance, if you're getting into commercial real estate, a small fraction of those listings might be on our MLS, but they're going to have it on their own. So we're going to go to residential. So that's for sale. And there's 6,200 active and coming soon listings here in Phoenix, Arizona as of April 14th at 1:10 p.m. today. So not a lot. And if we click on the active ones, there's only 5,200. So that's the way to kind of like work through the status. So that's the only thing that's selected right now. But so what we're gonna do here, let's just create a search for Stephen Andrew. And I know that Stephen Andrew wants to find a house in Old Town Scottsdale or around Old Town Scottsdale. So I usually like to just search on a map. If you're not familiar with the map, I'd highly recommend kind of getting acquainted with just kind of moving around the Phoenix metro area. You know, this is Phoenix Metro. You got Scottsdale here, Paradise Valley. Over here in this section right here is the Arcadia, kind of Biltmore area. And then you got the 51 freeway that cuts down. Then this whole kind of vertical line right here, I would call Midtown Central Phoenix. And then downtown Phoenix is in this rectangular shape right here. And then anything kind of west of the I-17 right here, this border, in my opinion, is West Valley. So you have Glendale, Peoria, you have Arrowhead over here. And then so just get acquainted. But the way that I typically, and then you have the East Valley. So south of Scottsdale is Tempe, and then Ahwatukee down here, Ahwatukee Foothills, Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, and then Queen Creek's over here, and Apache Junction. So, and then Fountain Hills off in the distance. And then as you go north, you got Cave Creek and Carefree. Get acquainted with a map. I highly recommend it. That's the way that I search on the MLS first, is I just open up the map. I find the areas that I think, you know, clients say they want to be. And I just usually do like an outline first. So for Stephen Andrew, I know that he wants to be in this neighborhood only. So from McDonald to Chaparral, and then from Hayden to Granite Reef, or even Pima. So let's just do a square search right here at the bottom. You have a bunch of these tools. So the hand tool just kind of moves you around the map. But I usually do one of these three combinations, and you can do mix match combination of any of these kind of search tools. So let's just do a square, because here in Phoenix, everything's a square and grid. So I'm just going to do boom, boom. I know Stephen Andrew wants to find a home somewhere in these neighborhoods. So right now in our search, there's only 4 active listings within this search criteria. Not a lot. So from there, let's say that his purchase price is a maximum of $600,000. Now, that brings it down to just one listing. So let's leave it open-ended, but this is how you're gonna set your price right here. And then you'll also want to filter out by dwelling type. Say your client wants a condo instead of a house, you can do apartment style or a flat. But if your client wants a house, that's single family. If they're open to kind of like townhomes or patio homes, which are, you know, usually attached on either side, but no one above you, then you can do patio home or townhouse. And in order to select multiple, you just click on one and then hold shift and then click on the other one. And then Gemini twin home, in my opinion, is very similar to a patio home. They're just in pairs of 2, mobile, manufactured mobile housing, and then modular prefab, and then loft style. So loft style is kind of more like an apartment, but we're going to keep this open-ended. But yeah, if your client wants a single family home, you can select it there. From there, I typically just filter out by bedrooms. You know, my client wants a minimum of 3 bedrooms, minimum of 2 bath. So I do 1.75. 0.75 bath is a shower, not a bathtub. So that's fine. Aside from there, the only other criteria that I typically do, if your client wants to have a garage, you can do a minimum 1 or 2 car garage. You can also do carports. But what's very important right here that I want to point out, aside from the general criteria, bedroom, bathroom, and stuff like that, you can do pools. So pool feature, if your client wants to have a pool, You can do, they want a private pool. What I think is better though, instead of just only selecting that, what I do is I just do, see how this is a link right here, or I just click on that once and it turns it into not. If you click it again, it does and if you click it a third time, it goes back to or. So I usually just do not pool. So my client's looking for a pool in their house. I want to show all the listings that do not have no pool, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like reverse engineering, if you will, something like that. So anyway, that's how you do with the pool search. Aside from that, the only other ones that I think are semi-mandatory to do is under special listing conditions here. I like to take out the age-restricted properties. Those are going to be 55 plus, unless your client's looking for that. And then I also like to take out any of the communities, and these are more so for condos and townhomes, that the owner occupancy is required, meaning they only require owners to live there. They cannot rent it out. So I like to take out those two categories just in case a client ever decides they want to turn their property into an investment down the road, they can. So those are the only other two things. And then the last thing that I like to do, it's never showing up here. I mean, I'm sure there's like a setting somewhere where I can make it show up by default, but you just go here into the search bar and there you'll see that there's so many other options in here that you can filter out listings by. So go through this and kind of explore all the different options. But the one that I always like to add on is going to be land lease, because I don't like to show my clients properties that are on a land lease. So I just type in lease, and then you'll find it right here, land lease. Where is it? Right here, land lease, under association of fees. So just click on land lease fee, YN, and just click no. So now it's going to say do not show any listings with the land lease fee. From there, the other thing that I just wanted to point out to you guys, say you got a client that's looking for a 3-bedroom, but they want to have an office space or a den or a loft or something like that, an additional room space that they can use for something, but it's not technically a bedroom. So that would be in a field called bedrooms plus. So you go back here to the search bar, type in bedrooms plus, and it's right here under general property description. Just click on that, bedrooms plus. And the way that works is this is just counting every single room area. So if I do 3 bedrooms plus minimum, just like I have right here, bedrooms minimum 3, if you subtract those two numbers, that's 0. So that means there's going to be 0 additional spaces that could be used as a den or a loft. So if you got a client that wants to have 3 bedrooms but wants an extra den, you want 1 extra space. So you add the number 1 to 3 right here on the bedrooms. So you want bedrooms plus to be 4. So that means there's going to be 1 additional space that's not considered a bedroom that could be used as a loft or a den. That's how bedroom plus works. So little quick tip. But anyway, the property area that I search right here isn't a good example because it's a very small area and there's not a lot of listings in there. So I'm going to close that real quick. So right here, this shape, if you want to get rid of it, you can just go here to the shape and then exit out the one that's highlighted. Say if you have another shape like this and you want to delete just the square, you would just hover over whichever shape is yellow and delete that one. So it's this one right here. I'll exit out. And now we are going to see how many listings are active under 600,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with a pool. What else? That has a den. So there's none. So we need to start removing some of this criteria, and it's probably going to be the price, knowing this market. There's 91 listings that fit that criteria. So now, once we have 91 listings right here, we can actually view them. So we'll go up here to the bar to list, and we will take a look. And I usually like to filter it down from highest price to lowest price because I love looking at all the expensive listings. So you'll kind of see, you know, all these beautiful listings here. Let's filter it the opposite way because we want to see what the cheapest home is that we can get right there. And the cheapest home around Scottsdale that fits that criteria is $750,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,000 square foot home. So, and then there's another one for $813,000. So you can kind of see, this running list of all the homes that are active. And as you view this list, you'll have all the information here, who the listing agent is. You'll have the address, the MLS number that it's active if it's a newer listing. So from here, you can view the details and you can actually go through what they call the MLS plano. So that's this sheet right here with all the information. So just kind of go through all the items. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,050 square feet. The price per square foot for this home at this price is $366 a square foot. It was built in 1958, which means what? That lead-based paint would apply, right? Because it's older than 1978. So this is a dwelling type, single family detached. And then up here at the top right, you can see what the approximate lot square footage is. It's 6,300 square feet for that lot, which is 0.145 of an acre. The subdivision is Scottsdale Estates, and the tax municipality is Scottsdale. So there's a lot of information here. It talks about also right here in this section, all the school districts, the cross streets right here. So if you're trying to get to the property, you can start at Hayden Indian School, and then you go east on Indian School, yada, yada, yada. Public remarks right here is what everyone will see online. All the information that syndicates to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, all those real estate portals. This is what everyone will read. Perfect short-term rental opportunity. No HOA, 4-bedroom, swimming pool, blah, blah, blah. From there, just keep going down and get acquainted with all the information that's here. What I typically like to look at are the taxes on the property. So that's $1,746 a year for the property taxes here, so pretty low. And then if there's an HOA fee, so this whole section right here, HOA 1, 2, and 3, and then the one that we filtered out right here, land lease, there's none. Aside from that, you can look at the listing dates. So this has been on the market for 1 day. It was listed yesterday. And they started at $750. They are at $750. So they have not done any price adjustments. And the most exciting thing for all of us is what we're going to get paid right here, the buyer broker percentage. So 2.5% commission for us for this property. And then any of the private remarks that the agents will want the other agents to know. All offers to be in by Saturday at noon. Offers will be reviewed by 6 p.m. Saturday. Please make your highest and best. And then all that stuff. So this is a listing agent information. You can give them a call, email, all that stuff. So history right here, we'll move down the list. History kind of shows you a history of that particular home. So this one goes back really far. This was back in 2000, and then they closed at 152, and then it was sold 3 years later for 183, and then 2 years later for 279, and so forth. And you can click on these plus or minus signs and expand each item to see what exactly was changed, what was updated. The MLS does a great job of keeping track of every little detail and change that happens on a listing. What's nice too is that if this listing doesn't have a lot of pictures, then you can always I'm on a MacBook, so I'm going to hold Command and click, and that'll open it on a new tab. So I can see the old listing, and I can even potentially see the old pictures, how the property used to look like, maybe say before it was renovated. And I can even go back to the detail and see who the listing agent was then and who sold it. So if I have any questions about a listing in the past, or if I just want more information, I can contact Gordon if he's still around, or even Sally, and see if they have any information on this property to help me out. So that's how you do history. Monsoon is a button right here also. So when you click there, it's going to take you out. And this is what I was talking about before. You can see all the public information that's kind of pulled from Maricopa Assessor. You can see a little bit of information about the structure that the city has. Deed history right here. This is kind of everybody who's exchanged hands and for how much. The loan information on the property, and then the tax information. And then right here is a little button to the county treasurer. You can go and see what taxes are owed on that property. So right now, the 1746, they've only paid half of it, and then they're going to pay the other half later. All the rest of this stuff, so documents is really the only other thing that I typically use, and that's going to be documents that the listing agent attaches to this file, for the transaction. So usually they'll upload like lead-based paint disclosure, the SPUDs, which is the seller's properties disclosure, HOA addendum, stuff like that you would want to attach as the buyer's agent to your offer if you're going to be writing something. So always look at the documents because they'll have additional information there. So we're going to go back to the report. And say I want to actually schedule a showing for this property, you would go here to the blue button. That's the showing time button. It's going to bring you out and it's going to say, there's the listing details of my information. I want to schedule a single showing. Okay, so all this stuff is blocked off because it already happened. Say I want to look at it today at 4. I would just click right there at 4 p.m. today, Thursday, and I would just request the appointment right here. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to actually go look, but that's how you would just request an appointment. You can put your buyer's information here if you want. I never do. Or if you want to add a little note right here, but I usually talk to the agent before I schedule just to make sure of the activity, if it's still available, any questions that I can tell my client. And then you would just go ahead and request it. And then you would just get a notification on your phone or email once they approve. So that's generally how you would search on the MLS and view listings here. If you want to save a couple of listings, or if you want to send them all, let's just click here, 91 selected. I can just literally go email. Always do interactive version, and then make sure again right here at the top left that you have selected the 91, and then you can just send it to whoever you want. You can search here under your contacts once you add them, or you can just put in an email address here. So I'm just going to send it to my personal email, active listings in Scottsdale. Hi, Steven. Please see all active listings in Scottsdale for your search. Obviously, you would have a nicer message right here than that, but this is what your client's going to see. There's subject line and the body, and then it's going to attach your information here with your little business card that you updated in your profile settings, right? So we're going to go ahead and email that over, and we're good to go. So that's how you email listings from the MLS. So we're going to go return to the search. But say you're like, oh, I didn't really want to send all those listings. I just want to go through and just select a handful. So say I want to send these 3 things. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I selected 7. I only want to show them 7 of those listings. Okay, so now I clicked on the selected button here, and now I'm in this window, and I'm only seeing the 7 that I selected. So I can once again email it again, interactive version, or you can just share it, all the selected ones right here, and then you click permalink. Now we can copy it and just text them that link or email them, whatever you want to do, and it'll just show them these listings. So I like to do that when I see like one listing that I really like say for instance, I like this one. This looks really cool. It's at a property called Seneca Luxury Townhomes. They're brand new, well built in 2018. So if I just want to send this listing only, I can do share, and only the current listing that I have, permalink. And if you look at the slug of this link, it should only be that address. So that's also an indicator when you copy and paste a link if you have it correct or not. If it has one address, then you're only sending one listing. So that's how you share. Now say we wanted to save this search. I'm going to go back to all of the results. If I wanted to save this search and put Stephen Andrew on a property subscription, I would save this here, search, and I would make the search name. They're not going to see this. It's just for your reference. Stephen Andrew home search, Scottsdale. And then in the search description, I usually like to summarize, all the key points, say under, we didn't put a price cap on this, but normally I do like under 600,000, single family home only, and then 3 bedrooms, 1.75 plus bath, Scottsdale. And then I could attach it to an existing lead because I've already added him into my contact database. If I didn't add them yet, then you can do new and it'll add them into your contacts. But since I added him already, I'm going to do existing and then search for his name, Stephen Andrew, and boom. From there, we go to save and add subscription. And what this is, so we've already saved the search and it's already attached to his contact, but now we are adding the subscription, which is going to auto email him anytime there's a new listing that meets the criteria of the search that we just saved. So what I typically like to name the subject, new listings for sale in Scottsdale. Hi, Stephen. Please see the newest activity in your search here below. Let me know if you have any questions. So that's the generic email that they're going to see every time you send them listings. And the way that we have this, the frequency, we're going out weekly, every day. Anything new happens. And in this market, that's what you want, because you want to be able to see the listings immediately and get their eyes on it as well, so that you can get out there and hopefully win the bid. So you can also send a notification of the new listings to yourself if you want. It's up to you if you want to also filter through the search and just kind of have a second eye on it. So that's always a good practice. And then you can also select or unselect this one. It's going to send you a notification whenever they click on that link. You'll get something that looks like this. It'll just say your client has viewed your email, and it'll also prompt you right here to click on the link to see what they are viewing. So if you click on the link, you'll see the listings that they viewed in the portal that was set up for them. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Boom. Now the subscription is saved. So he will start getting email notifications for any new listings as they come on the market. So now it's asking me, do you want to send him any of these listings or not? So you can do that. You can select through, or you can just dismiss it or exit out. And that's essentially how you add a contact, search on the MLS, and save a search, and also save a subscription for clients without getting too much further into it. We've already been doing this for about 41 minutes. It's a lot of information there, but this will at least get you started, searching on the MLS, and then we'll have other training videos down the road to kind of help you with other different topics. But feel free to also explore here at the top right. There's a help center. There's a Flex MLS Academy, video training, all that stuff. I highly recommend looking at that stuff as well, that they've built out for you so that you can kind of be an MLS master. One other thing real quick, what I like to do when I'm going on showings is I like to print out the planos. So if I'm just showing this one property right here, Piccadilly, well, let's do this. I'm actually, this is one of my favorite features actually. This Omni search bar, it's very powerful. You can put the address, city, zip code, MLS number, anything you want. You can even search people in here. You can search my name, and you can see right here, I am a member of PADLAB. There's my MLS ID number. I can click on it, and I can view information. See, I'm the designated broker here at PADLAB here in Old Town Scottsdale. And there's all of our information. You can view my listings, all that stuff. So you can even spy on people in here. But anyway, I have to print out this plano for this rental listing that I'm going to be showing a client right now. I know that the address is 7301 and the unit number is 118. Boom, it's right there at the top. It's active. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now I have all the information here. So I want to print this out so I can take it with me on my showing. So I'm going to go to print, and then I'm going to go to detail. And then you can print it private, which has the other realtors' information and the commission information, or you can do a public one, which is more safe for your clients to keep. So today I'm just going to do the private one. You can preview it, see what you're going to print out, and then you print it. So I'm going to select my printer here in the office, and that's about it. So this is what it's going to print. This is going to be on the front. It's going to be on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Bada bing, bada boom. Aside from that, Some other tools that I like to do is printing out, unselecting details, and then doing a map, a combined map for all the listings. From there, if you have multiple listings, it'll show like a map of where all the listings are, and then you can use that as like a cheat sheet on your tours and take notes, write notes on the sheet, like what time you're supposed to be there, any phone numbers, any gate codes that you need to remember. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because this is a lot of information for you to kind of get going on, but just dive into the system, play around with it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any point. I'm here to help. And if you're not part of our brokerage, please do consider us. We are awesome and we are trying to do really cool things. Give me a call and I'll put some information here in the link of the video. And I hope you found this helpful, and we'll talk to you later. Peace out.